Okay, when we were recording earlier, the recording stopped on me because I only get 15 minutes and I had gone over time. I was talking about the profit motive, and one of the people I was talking about was Michael Dell. Now, we've talked about other people that have taken risks, and their risks have paid off very big. We talked about Sam Walton with Walmart. We talked about the man whose last name is Hirschfeld, Dave Hirschfeld, who is the guy that started the buckle. Remember, it was originally called the brass buckle, and then he had a patent on that name. We remember what a patent is. He had a patent on that name, and so he sold that patent to the Levi Strauss Corporation, and he became very wealthy because of that, and then he just changed the name to the Buckle. We also talked about the guys that started Domino's Pizza, how they came about that, and also Cabela's. And I don't know that I told you the full story about Cabela's, but what happened was there was a guy and his last name was Cabela, and what he did was he sat in the back of a bar in the town of Sydney, and he would tie flies that he would use to go fly fishing. And some people came in one time, and they were asking the people there, well, where are good places to fish, and what is a good lure to use? And they pointed to Cabela, who was sitting in the back, and he had his little kit there, and he was tying up his flies. And they said, if you really want to know where to go and what to use, go ask that guy right there. And so they went back there, and he was very kind, and he told them, and he said, as a matter of fact, here, I'm going to give you some of these flies that I just made, and if they work, great. And they offered to pay him, and he would not accept it. So they went out and they had very good luck. And so they came back and they said, hey, if you have more of these, we would like to buy them. And so he bought a few, and word started to spread, and people would come in and they would purchase those from him. So from there, he decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up my own business. And his business started in downtown Sydney, and it was actually in the basement of an old three-story brick building, and because that was all that he could afford. And he just started selling very basic fishing supplies, and obviously it just the whole idea, the whole concept really took off. And now you will find Cabela's stores all over the nation. At one time, back in the early 2000s, cities were going to Cabela's and they were asking, will you build a store in our area? We need something to really boost our economy. We have a lot of outdoor activities, but we just don't have a place where people can really buy what they want for them. And they were actually having to turn towns away because so many towns were requesting and asking, will you come build a store there? And they were able to kind of pick and choose where they wanted to build their store. So that's just another idea or another example of profit motive taking off. And so, that's something else that you can include in your notes, is that you have Sam Walton, who's the founder of Walmart, and you have Richard Cabela, who is the founder of Cabela's. And so there's a couple of examples of people that were willing to take risks. You have Henry Ford took a big risk. Eli Whitney, Michael Dell, Sam Walton, all these individuals took big risks. And they ended up being pioneers in their different areas of business. Eli Whitney with the whole concept of interchangeable parts. Henry Ford introducing the concept of the assembly line. And Henry Ford, I'm going to go back to him real quick. His idea of the assembly line spread like wildfire because not only is that concept used in automobiles, but it is used in modern mass production all over the United States today. Appliances, electronics, a lot of those are built using the concept of the assembly line because it speeds up production. And the faster you can make an item, the more you can make of it, you can sell it at a cheaper price. The reason why cars were so expensive when they first came out is because they took so long to make. As that whole process sped up, something that Henry Ford also did was he increased the wage that he paid his workers, and at the same time, he decreased their work day. And happy workers are productive workers. And when employees saw Henry Ford doing that, they went to their bosses and they said, you know, if you were to pay us a little bit more and decrease our workday, we would probably be more productive as well. So Henry Ford is really the overall total pioneer of mass production and the whole concept of mass production in the history of the United States. And it's all simply because he went to a meatpacking plant and he saw how a cow went from standing up on all fours to being ground up into hamburger and wrapped up in plastic and then being sent off to the store. So that is your lesson for chapter 18, and there's a good chance we're going to do a few more of these in the future.